The Zastava PAP M92 Pistol. This comes from the Zastava arsenal. They're in Serbia, which is world renowned for quality of AK-47 variants. These are being imported by Century Arms, and originally when these were imported they came with just a thread cover, thread protector for the barrel, a little short that was tack welded on, and then also they did not have a pistol brace. And this is one of the B-47 pistol braces from Century Arms. These come with the wood handguards and also with the Serbian polymer pistol grip. It comes with two 30-round magazines. Before we get really started into it, let's make sure the gun is unloaded. And the first thing you're going to notice is that it holds back on the bolt, which is really unusual for most of your AK-47s. And the reason for that is the magazines that this pistol comes with has a block here in the magazine follower that actually holds the bolt open. And that to me is a big advantage over most of the AK-47s. That's one thing about the AK-47 style rifle and pistols that I've never really liked, is not having that last round bolt hold open capability. And one of the other advantages I like on the M92 is you can pull the bolt back, engage the safety, and it holds the bolt back even with the magazine released. But one of the things you're going to need to be careful of, with the magazine out, when you release the safety, it's going to slam the bolt home. So just be careful of that. It does have a chrome plated bolt which keeps corrosion down, and it's also a hard chrome plating, so it makes the action smooth. And speaking of smooth, it's a really nice short stroke, nice smooth action on these. Now to me the trigger is really nice in this pistol, and I used my Lyman trigger pull gauge and I got about a 6.5 pound trigger pull every time. It's a little bit of take up, not much, and then a nice crisp snap. Of course it's AK-47 style, it's not going to be super refined. But one of the things obviously about an AK-47 is they're tough as nails and they can about handle anything. You know guys, I'm a big AR guy. I love AR-15s. But I have a huge respect for AK-47s and I love the way they're designed. But they are built like tanks. The dust cover is easier to deploy than many of your AKs. You push in your button at the back and then you can just release your dust cover. With the hinge dust cover too, it keeps you from having to fish in under a lip right here behind the gas block on many of your AKs to get this in place, and I love how easy it is to snap this into place. So this is going to really help you maintain and clean your rifle, just to make it a little easier. The sights being mounted on the dust cover as well gives you a longer sight radius than if they were mounted right here on the gas block. And as you can see there's a 2, but it also has 2 white dots, and at the front you have a white dot. So even though this is marked at 200 meters, it gives you 3-dot capability. But then the other cool thing is that it flips over for 400 meters. And then the front dot slips down to reveal the standard AK-47 post, which this can be adjusted. And it also has ears here to protect the post. One of the nice things too about the Zastava is that even though it's a stamped receiver, it's a heavy stamped receiver. Thicker walls than your typical AK-47. It's just very well finished. And of course the interior, you can see standard AK. Pull out your recoil spring. Has the double hook trigger system. Bolt just comes right out. Push your bolt back, turn it, pull it right out. Just a real simple system. Of course it has the piston here. Reinsert, turn it, bring it forward. Bolt back in, bring it, push it down in the back, forward. Insert recoil spring. Love that closure. Has a 10.25 inch barrel. Has the blonde hand guards. A little thicker on the bottom to give you a really good grip with this little recess right in here. So it's really easy to get a hold of. And with the recoil of the 7.62 by 3.9 in this short package, it's really good to be able to get a hold of that. The muzzle brake booster is held in by this little detent. This is reverse thread, so the way you would tighten is the way you loosen. And as you can see, it's a pretty large adapter. There are some aftermarket muzzle brakes that you can put on here. So remember, this is reverse threads, so left is tight, not righty-tighty, and lefty-loosey. It goes the opposite direction. Get it as tight down until you can hit that notch, and then it locks it into place. The Century Arms B-47 pistol brace changes this from just a novelty at the range to an actual self-defense weapon. And so really I love the option of the pistol brace on these pistols. It just really makes them more usable. I really love the SIG SB15 on my AR pistol. It made it a world of difference. But without even a buffer tube here, this really, the AK-47 pistol was really a novelty until they added these. But the one thing about the pistol brace is that it's held just by a plate under your pistol grip. And it's the single screw that comes through the pistol grip that holds this into place. When I first got it, there was some wobble. And all I did is tighten this down, and it tightened everything up, and there's no wobble. You'll need to be careful though, because if this screw comes loose, this whole plate can come right out. Of course, there are a lot of aftermarket pistol grips that you can add, I think, that'll give it a little more stability to this brace. A lot of guys have come in and countersunked a screw right here just to keep it in place, which I think I would probably do. There is a small sling mount right here at the front, but no sling mount to the rear. And there are some other options you can use out there. I'm going to be investigating different ones. But one of the things I have coming is a strap that fits around the back of the pistol brace for a single point mount. But I think you could actually have one mounted into the side here if you wanted to put some kind of ring or an adapter to be able to use that in conjunction with your front sling mount. This M92 weighed 7.5 pounds without the magazine, 8 pounds with the magazine. It's 29 inches in overall length, and the balance on this is actually pretty nice. It's really compact. It's not super lightweight, obviously at 8 pounds with the magazine. There is some weight with the B-47 pistol brace, which really balances out, because it seems like a lot of the weight would be here toward the end. Now, because of the recoil of this rifle at 7.62, it's not excessive, but it's definitely a good heavy felt recoil, and I'm sure you noticed that in the shooting sequences. There is some muzzle rise, and of course, even with a regular AK-47, there is muzzle rise. I've put about 400 rounds through this pistol so far, and I'm really starting, the more I shoot it, the more I'm getting used to the way it feels and the way it shoots for its size, the recoil pulse. Over 200 yards, you're really stretching it big time. I think for an up-close and personal firearm, this is really going to fit the bill. Be great for a truck gun, for campers. You know, it's easy to stow away. It's a small size. And of course, shooting 7.62 by 3.9, it's a 30 caliber bullet at close range. This is a devastating round, which has been proven over and over around the world. I shoot a lot of steel ammo in my AKs, SKSs, Russian type rifles. But one of the things I really love about this Red Army Standard is that this is brass cased, and that's going to give you a capability to reload this ammunition, which I think is really great. I know Century Arms imports this as well. This is made in Bosnia-Herzegovina. It would shoot brass about 30 feet to the right while we were firing. It was pretty phenomenal. Another great thing about the 7.62 by 3.9 is it's typically much cheaper, especially the steel cased versions. And you can get that stuff very reasonable, and it's pretty plentiful. Much cheaper actually than your 5.56 or 223. And with a small package like this and the ballistic capabilities of 7.62 by 3.9, it's just a great option. Now you can go to the Century Arms website and check out all the details on these. As far as pricing goes, I've heard that they can run around the $500 range, but from everything I've seen so far, they're about the $599 and up. In fact, if you can find them. They're just getting more and more in demand for these type little fun home defense options. Century Arms also imports a 5.56 version of the M92, and what's really cool about it is that it can accept standard AR-15 magazines, which I think is huge. And of course the recoil will adapt to that as well. So if you want something really tough in a 5.56, I think the M92 in 5.56 would be a great option. The Zastava PAP M92 Pistol, excellent AK variant, superior in many ways to a lot of the things that are on the market, plus this little compact size. I think this is a great option for home defense and SHTF, truck gun, carrying around, cheap to shoot, a lot of fun, and it just looks cool. And of course, that's always important. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic. the Zastava PAP M92, the Zastava PAP, Zastava, not Zastava, but Zastava. The Zastava PAP M92 is an excellent AK variant, short, compact, great for a lot of mini. One thing I really like is the ease of closing the dust cover. I mean, it's just down and dirty. But being able just to get this thing open and closed so easily makes it real easy.